congratulations on winning the best tech.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
How was the feeling? How was the euphoria all around?
It feels really, really good to be appreciated by one of the leading brands in the country.
Okay.
And it also feels good that what we started 6 years back with just a vision to do something is getting recognized in the market. So it's a very, very good feeling.
nStore has been started 6 years before, right? So you've been working closely with ONDC as a platform and everything. How much has it got translated to nStore? What do you think?
See, any digital public infrastructure is basically a journey, right? I mean, so the whole idea is that is it really getting participation from the people who are going to be part of this? So is it getting participation from the ecosystem? Let me just tell you, so we were one of the very, very early participants of ONDC when it even started, because the concept that we believed in, actually nStore stands for neighborhood stores, right? So we said when the whole market is basically looking at some of the marketplaces which are playing a duopoly kind of a model, we said, why do we leave this 97% of all the neighborhood stores which are there part of your ecosystem out when it comes to digital commerce, right? So we started from there. And we also said that at some point in time, these guys are going to become very, very important as we go along in this journey. And so we create a digital platform for them. So that's the roots of nStore. Okay. And when ONDC came and started talking about the same kind of a language, it kind of resonated with our story, and then we jumped in very, very early on, because the power of multilateral is very, very huge. The power of a network is huge, because what one is going to do, if 10 guys are going to do, the results are going to be much, much larger. So when we started ONDC, it was just a set of protocols, right? Yes. It was just a set of beliefs that some people had. And we didn't even know that whether a transaction could originate from a particular buyer app and it can go to a switch and go to some other seller app and retrace its path back, and also take care of a reconciliation, settlement, and issues and grievance management on all of it. Right? We didn't even know that.
And go along with the regulations.
And go along with the regulation.
And complaints. That is
absolutely right. And from there, today, we've come to a stage where we do 1 lakh transactions on a daily basis on that network. And that is not possible unless the network is supported by people like us. Okay, and as we speak, every day there are more and more people who are joining this network. And if you can do 1 lakh transaction, there is no reason why you can't do 100 lakh transactions or 1 million transactions or 100 million transactions, and so on and so forth. So infrastructure is built, the framework is built. It is only up to the participants to build it as fast as they want to build it. So it is a reality, and it is happening right in front of our eyes, and we feel extremely happy to be part of this journey.
See, if you trace back in history, there were mom and pop shops all around. All Walmarts came into place, all bigger supermarkets came into there, and they slowly died. And it's been a dying economy worldwide. India is different. That's what you're proving by, calling your company as a neighborhood store, right? So what do you think? The technology influence, is this the reason why you think history will repeat itself, or will technology enable, and these 1 lakh transactions will grow, and people will start believing and buying from the neighborhood store?
When it comes to a neighborhood store, there are 2 or 3 things which are already taken care of, right? One is the trust. So today when you buy from a marketplace, you don't know largely who's the seller. And you largely don't even know what is that is going to happen to my particular order. It is all a good scenario when the transaction is good, but if it is really bad, then you're basically going to get into a issues and grievance management, where you're going to largely talk to a bot, right? But when it comes to a neighborhood store, that relationship is there, and you know that you're talking to a person, and he is part of your neighborhood, right? Now, second thing is, if you basically look at where these marketplaces are spending a lot of money, one is largely around customer acquisition, right? Because you have to spend a lot of money in terms of acquiring the customer. And 2 is in terms of delivery. So you need to basically make sure that you deliver from a very, very short location. And the more you extend that, the cost of delivery is going to be far higher, right? Now, the fundamental question is, when the neighborhood store has the product right available in a shelf, why should you create a parallel supply chain and then try to do the same thing what he's doing? Why can't you include him as part of the transaction and enable him with the technology and make him part of the whole ecosystem? So the whole cost of doing business is going to be distributed across multiple parties. That's the whole concept with which we believed, and that's when we started it. But there are certain nuances that needs to be taken care if you are to just bring them into it, because one is that they are not digitally savvy, so you need to spend a lot of time in terms of making them aware and understand and trust that digital platform. Second is that you need to have a supporting ecosystem, which is in terms of maybe credit, which is in terms of maybe some SOPs that one could offer for these guys to quickly adopt it. And those are the things that were missing, and that is being addressed by ONDC.
So can we safely say that technology would see to that these stores do not go out of fashion?
Yeah, so technology will enable them. It'll play a role of an enabler.
Okay.
And technology cannot be the differentiator for somebody to be big or small in a market. Technology has to be available for everybody.
See, these stores or neighborhood stores are all about relationships. Okay, it's an emotion. Right. You don't get the same emotion when you go to a retail supermarket or something. Right. Okay. So do you think that will survive?
It will. So both of them will have. So there are two kinds of purchases as a consumer that we all make. One is called a stock-up purchase, where you just plan for the monthly grocery and then you go to a supermarket and you buy, where you look for deals and discounts. And when it comes to a top-up purchase, which is typically here now, I need something. Where do you go? You just pick up the phone and you just call the neighborhood grocer and he comes and delivers. Okay. So each one has a role to play, and each one are playing this kind of a role. So there's no, like I said, in a market which is $1.3 trillion, right? 93% of the market is with the unorganized segment, and 7% is with the organized and online commerce. Now, let's just do a small arithmetic, right? If you just take this online commerce from organized players is going to maybe triple in the next 5 years also, which in itself is very, very big. So you're still going to be talking about a 30% market share. Even if I say more than 30% market, so 30% is what somebody can actually cover. The 70% is still going to be part of your neighborhood ecosystem only. Now, isn't it better for us to create a model where you include them also, so that you push the envelope and then make that 30% maybe 40 or 50 or 60? And we have done that very effectively when it comes to payments, right? UPI did exactly the same thing.
Yes. But in the comparative strategy, earlier somebody who could buy even a whole month's grocery from the store would now buy from the bigger stores, which is probably higher ticket size because it's giving more discounts.
Absolutely.
Whilst out here you probably spend only 10% or probably 20% of the amount they will spend on a whole month. So the amount spent, the spending goes down, right?
It's not actually, because interestingly what happens is that for us, most of our consumption is on demand.
Okay.
We don't actually plan. As more and more people rely on technology, our planning actually goes for, because we now anyway take it for granted, saying that when I just call, it should be available to me in the next 1 hour's time. So when it comes to an urban phenomena, right? So it's like on demand. But when
time of abundance.
Yeah, time of abundance. I just need it now and I want it to be delivered at my doorstep and I don't care, right? So that's because you got choice. That's the abundance that you have. So if you don't give me, somebody else is obviously ready to give it to me. Now, when it comes to a rural part of it, I mean, technology has not actually gone all the way down to rural, but it is.
The stores have gone. But the stores have gone.
It is. Yes. But the people also have got time there, right? It's not like your urban commute where you just have to plan for getting down, taking a car, find where the parking is, and then do all of those kind of things. It's not required there. So maybe it'll take some time. Maybe it'll have some categories which will have more relevance in a tier 3, tier 4 kind of a market compared to what is there in tier 1. But definitely technology is going to bridge all of these things together and create a whole monolithic network. That's where we are going.
Technology, you think, will enable these shops other than disable.
And the beauty of this model is that everybody can look at this from their own lens, right? So there is.
It's customized.
It's customized, right? Okay. So what we do, our customization is that we call something called as community commerce model. So we basically take a hyper local market of 2 kilometers, and then we bring customers and merchants in that hyperlocal community and then bring them together.
Okay.
Because we go tell them that these people, they have now come online and they are now available, their products are available, why can't you buy it from them?
So what are the marketing techniques that you use?
So we do, it's more
yeah.
of a push and pull, and we basically do, go to the communities and we educate them, we tell them what are the various options available. And even the stores participate in that mechanism, saying that, now I'm available online, so you can buy my products from XYZ apps and so on and so forth.
And is the delivery done by internally, or they are taken by delivery partners like in Swiggy? Or
so now all the choices are available to the merchant.
Okay.
Very interesting question. Earlier, what used to happen was that there, in a locality, there are 5 stores which will probably do home delivery, and then 5 other guys will not do home delivery.
Yes.
Right?
That was a differentiator. Okay.
That is a differentiator.
Yes.
Now, the guys who are not even doing home delivery is also got an opportunity to be part of the online e-commerce ecosystem, and he's got the ability to leverage the delivery of a Dunzo or a ShipRocket or LoadShare or anybody, and then make sure that the product is picked up and delivered.
So it's a whole ecosystem which has been created all because of technology. Right?
It is.
Right.
It's absolutely.
So it has in a sense revived all this neighborhood.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you very much for talking
Thank
to
you
us.
so
It
much.
was enlightening to be
Thank
right.
you.
Yes.